Warning: the Dub Talk podcast may contain language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please proceed with caution in case we discuss a series you've yet to finish. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and do not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show. Hello one and all, and welcome to DTO, Dub Talk Online, the moderately successful MMORPG with several thousand concurrent players and a Metacritic score that is both better than Concord, but about equal to Fallout 76 in overall quality. My name is Classy Spartan, and joining me today are my fellow guild members from Clan Grimgar, Queenira.
Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back from the dungeon. I played God again.
And Jet Zero Infinity.
Hello.
Alright. So, the three of us are going to queue up, and we are going to be raiding an old favorite little quest of ours. We were told to do this one. We were told to, raid this one again from one of our longtime friends and questionable taste patron, Pika Greg. He gave us a nice little super chat, and he told us that we should go check out the quest line Forest of Savior after all these years. So, join us as we hit the dungeons and we make very questionable decisions as we talk about love, gaming, and little bunny princesses. This is our podcast for my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999.
Yeah, this is really one of those shows where I keep convincing myself, oh, hey, I know we did this at some point. And it's like, wait.
Right?
We did.
I'm going to be honest, I get what you mean, because this has what I can only describe as extremely classy coded energy from start to finish, that it actually is a little surprising I had not done an episode of this previously.
I was gonna say, Andrew was too busy cybering himself raw in the MMORPG and was like, oh shit, fuck.
Like going back through this show, I was just like literally the entire time I was thinking, like, Andrew, do you feel seen watching this?
Okay. Are you implying that the younger guy getting with the slightly older woman that he meets online might be a little bit of a call-out to my real-world experience? Anyways, you're correct, and also go fuck yourself.
Love you too, buddy.
Here's my thing, though. Do you think Andrew would play as a hot rabbit girl?
I can believe it, sure.
I mean, imagine I should show Andrew what a female Viera looks like.
I have seen, I know a little bit about what the Viera look like from cultural osmosis, because as somebody who does not play 14,
yet, I'm
well aware of its cultural impact. And as an aside, when I mentioned this on the last time we did an episode like this for Netogay, Megan, I'm glad you're here as the girl who understands MMORPGs.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The single most cathartic thing happened in the show, and I will bring it up.
Can't wait. Anyways, just to give a little synopsis about what my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999 is about. Akane Kinoshita is a female university student who just got dumped by her first boyfriend after he cheated on her with a woman he met in an online game. Akane is left with just her game character in the online game Forest of Savior that she started to share her boyfriend's interest. While she was blowing off steam in the game's hunting ground, she happened upon Yamada, who was from the same guild. She started complaining about her failed relationship, only to be met with a cold, "I'm not interested." When she then joined an offline meeting in an attempt to look pretty and make her ex regret dumping her, she hears those exact words once again. This is her fated meeting with Akito Yamada. This is a show that I remember watching the first few episodes and going, oh, this is delightful. And then they dubbed it, and then it's like, oh shit, they did dub this one, hell yeah. I believe this was, if I remember correctly, an Aniplex of America license, where I was thinking, oh shit, are they going to dub this one? And then they did, and I was like, yay!
Yeah, because it was still in that period where Aniplex of America was just like... I mean, like, they were getting slightly better about dubbing non-action stuff, but it was still, like, very up in the air if they would. So...
I will say it's kind of a 50-50 coin toss. Say that again?
It was like, hey, maybe you should dub this a little.
Yes. I think it also does help that, from my understanding, this is done at Studio Madhouse from my understanding, effectively the all-star shoujo anime team.
Yay.
I believe, like, the director of this has worked on both Nana and Chihaya Furu.
So Mori Wasaka, gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. I like how you knew the exact name of two. I was like, okay, thanks.
Okay, I mean, not a card captor Sakura, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, just like the regular JoJo guy.
I was about to say that there's a Japanese... I all I heard was the regular, and I was like, there's a regular show anime that's a shoujo?
Oh my... God. What the fuck would a regular show wouldn't be a shoujo anime. It'd be like the equivalent of a Lucky Star.
You know what else is an equivalent of a Lucky Star? Man.
God, they just announced they have new episodes of that coming, and I'm actually pretty excited for that. Alright. Anyways, this is a Patreon episode, courtesy of our pal and guy we will always talk shit about because we love him, but his penchants for eating garbage scares us all. Pika Greg. So, this one's for you, buddy. And with that... Yeah, this is a show that I'd wanted to do a couple of years ago, but then just time, occupations, and stuff just kind of got away from me. So I'm very glad we have Patreon's requests that'll sometimes make me finally do things that I've always wanted to do. So thanks for joining me for this one, guys.
You're welcome.
Alright, so we are going to be starting with the ADR director and ADR writers for this dub. This is a Bang Zoom production, and the dub is written by Jalen K. Cassell and Ryan Raydark, and the dub is also directed by Jalen K. Cassell. Jalen has directed for such animes as Mashle, Magic and Muscles Season 2, Blue Exorcist, Beyond the Snow Saga, and the Blue Knight Saga, Kuriko's Basketball, and there's no way I wasn't going to bring this up, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Seasons 1 through 3. Jalen has also written on Mashle Season 2 and Blue Exorcist Beyond the Snow Saga, as well as for dubs such as Be the Beginning and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Ryan Raydark has also written on Blue Exorcist, Beyond the Snow Saga, and Blue Knight Saga, Kuriko's Basketball, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean, and Togen Anki, which is a show I don't really know if is real or not, but I keep seeing clips of, like, that one problematically hot mommy GF. That is the most I really know about Togen Anki through osmosis.
Yeah, I mean, all I hear about Togen Anki that it's just, like, really aggressively bad shonen tropes, but, yeah.
Isn't it also full of titty?
It might be full of titty, yes. But, yes. So, that is our crew who is... God, I'm trying to bring this back to, like, MMO and, like, RPG gaming, and I'm kind of just drawing a blank there.
There are guild leaders.
They are our guild leaders, or our quest masters?
MSQ deliverers? I don't know. Listen, I've only played one MMORPG, and it's Final Fantasy XIV, and I don't know what characters to make them.
I'm trying to also think of, like, it's like, you could probably figure out, like, classes for them, but I do know there are a bunch of, like, voice actors and stuff that are just really into Final Fantasy XIV, too. I'm sure there's a lot of people
I can't just give everybody Bard.
Okay, you could at least give Ryan the Bard class as the writer.
I'll give Jalen, I'll give Jalen Pictomancer.
What is Pictomancer, then?
God, I'm gonna have to explain every fucking Final Fantasy XIV class. Good job, Megan. Pictomancer is a mage class in Final Fantasy XIV that draws things, and then they use that drawing magic to attack people and buff them.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like I said, I'm doing my fucking best, man.
You're doing your best. Look, I'll be real. Not every episode of Dub Talk that we do will I give you the opportunity to really go all in on your FF14 hyperfixations. But when a show is literally called My Love Story at level 999 and it is about an MMORPG, both the video game and the social aspects of it, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give you the free hall pass for this one.
Not just the video game. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, let me just start off then talking since you've given me the floor. I thought this show was really funny. I thought the dub was very heartfelt, and I like that it had its moments of going over the top, but a lot of it felt very natural and down to earth. No character really spoke with, like, an annoying, like, over the top thing, except for when they needed to, like when they were in the game Forest of Spirits, I think it's called.
Forest of Savior.
Forest of Savior, FOSS. To which I want a plushie of Akane's, character so fucking bad.
She is very cute.
I love it's the little fucking beady eyes. It's the little beady eyes. That...
It does have the whole game aesthetic overall has, like, a very cozy vibe about it. I can definitely see, like...
Mash.
Except when you need to mash repeatedly.
Please note that, listen, that part was very cathartic. Anyway, I really appreciate Jalen's directing and Jalen Ryan's writing. I felt like a lot of it felt very in character and very in the spirit without having to, like, you know, resort to, like, outside MMO games and stuff. And I think Akane's dialogue especially, like, gets the lion's share of being really funny. Her and Eita.
Oh my god, Eita being just the gaming otaku.
So, top-notch stuff. I'm glad I finally, like, you know, actually got to sit down and watch the dub of this.
Hell yeah. Jet?
Direction-wise, yeah, I'm pretty positive about it. I think Jay did a pretty good job here. Everyone here sounds really natural, like Megan was saying. No one sounds like too over the top or too over the top or anything, except maybe, like, one character in particular. But aside from that, I think it's otherwise, like... I think it's otherwise pretty grounded in a way that kind of, like, makes sense for what the tone of the show is going for. I think everyone here is, like, pretty solidly casted. I like a lot of the performances. I think the overall sense of humor is pretty solid. Script-wise, also think it's generally pretty solid. Like as far as, like, most of the jokes go, I do think it does a pretty good job of sounding natural where it's supposed to. I think if I have, like, maybe any real criticisms of the script, like, it's not to me, like, major criticism and more more of an observation in that. Going back through this, I did find it, like, given that Jalen is, no stranger to kind of having a little bit of fun with localization, I was kind of surprised this one was, like, pretty, not, like, super one-to-one, but there were kind of, like, a lot of wild swings where you would kind of expect her to be, like we'll kind of get to this when we like talk about Ita, but we have like the whole like Nakama thing and that just being like what that is instead of I don't know, maybe trying to find some sort of workable linguist equivalent for something like that.
Yeah.
I think for context, just for the discussion, I believe it was Jalen double dipping for the first 4 episodes, and then the remainder of the show was written by Ryan Ray Dark.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I get what you mean, though I definitely feel like the show... I'm gonna say the Nakama thing might also be a little bit of the fact that it's very visual wordplay punning.
Yeah. The old,
So I get the feeling
we'll talk
that...
about the old guy in real life bullshit when we get to it.
But, yeah, I can see, like, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things. Though I definitely do think that they at least had, like, some creative, like, choices when it came to, like, localization, adapting some of the lines. Because I think, like, there's one episode where they're doing, like, the Rurihime fashion show, where I think the punchline is that, like, they are saying, like, Nakama, but I think they were, like... They changed it to, like, okay, nay. I was like, okay. That's pretty good way to play that. I'm very excited to talk about this one because I think I've gone on record when it comes to a lot of, like, the LA dubbing side of things that, genuinely speaking, I think Jalen Cassell is, like, kind of one of the most talented, like, behind-the-mic tour de forces when it comes to, like, directing and writing. Because Jalen, they've done it all. I very much credited them very directly as the reason JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as a dub found its voice. And I really do think because of Jalen's work script writing for Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable, and, like, Golden Wind, especially, like, that dub really found its identity and has now kind of hit the ground running, or I guess galloping, should I say, in recent episodes.
Could you say that when Jalen took over the dub, it became a beautiful duang of a day?
Wow.
That was forced as fuck, man.
You know what? I applaud you, Megan. I applaud you for trying. All I can say is I got a feeling so complicated. Man, do you know what's fucked up? There's probably, like, a whole generation of, like, JoJo fandom that does not understand what the fucking Duwang translation of Diamond is Unbreakable even is anymore.
But hey, I mean, that is probably for the best, honestly.
I mean, it is probably for the best, you are correct, but there is...
But it's still funny.
It is still funny, you are correct. Like, it's so bizarre we had a point in time where the English manga was ahead of the JoJo's anime. That's as bizarre as it's ever gotten. Okay, where was I going with this? Alright, Jalen. Legit, I've been such a huge fan of Jalen's work for a long time, and I think even several years ago, I remember specifically predicting a cast for this. I was like, I kind of want to see Jalen do a rom-com. Sure enough! Jalen did a rom-com, and shout out to both Jalen and Ryan's script writing, because I do think there's a lot of character and personality with everybody in the cast. It does sound like a very good, like, slice of life series, while also being a very good character piece as well. There's a lot of, like, very heartfelt, tender moments with its cast of characters who are... Some of them are a little older, but I'm also going to call out... So, I don't... Was it Manga Magura? I think it was Manga Magura, where somebody described the series as an age gap romance, and, like...
They're 2 years apart!
No, they are not!
They're 2 years apart.
It's like 18 and 20. I think that's what it is. That's like, I remember seeing...
I think he's 17 for like a little bit, and then his birthday happened, so he's like 18.
It's like... Okay, yeah. I mean, I can see... Yeah, I can maybe see, like, okay, high schooler and, like, college students, like, maybe, like, maybe, like, a little weird, but not, like, to the point where I think it would be anything you would consider, like, an actual black mark against the series.
Yeah, when I'm talking about, like, terrible age gaps in a show, I mean, like, this is a clear, like, 30 to 40-year-old man wanting to date a 15-year-old girl. Or,
let's be real.
You know,
we are anime fan. We are anime fans. We are no strangers to problematic age gaps in
really
some
funny.
of the
It's really funny that a lot of people are like, age gap, and then it's like, okay, but we can want like the 1,000-year-old dragon lady to make out with a 30-year-old office woman. Like, come on, guys.
Reminding me, thank you for reminding me to do everything in my power to avoid having to cover Kill Blue next season.
Oh yeah, right. Isn't that the show where it's like the dude's 40 and then he becomes a middle schooler with a may or may not relationship?
Please don't dub that. Please just dub Marriage Toxin.
We'll see how that goes in a little bit, but fucking... God, yeah. It's crazy that somebody would describe this one as like an age gap romance where it's like... No. That's nothing. That's fucking nothing. I'm just like, okay. But I guess... some of that's a call-out post because you see, like, problematic age gap discourse online, and I'm like... This is so vanilla. This show is...
I beg people, please look into context.
Say what?
It's like, please, people, look into the actual context of things before just...
Exactly.
Look, if you want to talk about problematic age gaps, like, 7 Deadly Sins is right over there, just saying.
Andrew, do you have any idea how little that there is in
Sit down.
Exactly! Exactly! Every couple! Every couple!
I was gonna say, but wait a minute. I was gonna say, but Andrew, Street Fighter 6 is right there.
I'm so sorry for all those Alex fans.
Oh my god! So, the funny... okay. It's not even the age gap necessarily about Alex, because I'm gonna be real, if I was talking about a 5-year age gap as a problem, what the fuck does that make me? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. I'm just kind of laughing at the Alex thing. Is not the age thing.
It's not the age gap. It's the fact that it was slightly already dubious because they were kind of raised together, but then Street Fighter 6 had to make them literal second cousins. So like they knew they were going to fucking make them familial and make them married and have like a baby together, and like that wedding artwork is one of the most insane things I've ever fucking seen. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Hey, Andrew. Do you know that they added a new move to Alex's moveset for Street Fighter 6? It's called the Alabama Cradle Robber.
Boy.
And here I thought you were going to reference like the Katsu Super Beast joke.
Oh, the Predator stance! Listen, I source my humor organically from my own asshole.
God, fucking, man, sometimes we do episodes of Dub Talk that are timeless. Sometimes you know exactly when they were recorded, and we will make sure you know exactly when they were recorded. See, this is one of those episodes.
Here's the thing, we could be... Listen, it is always appropriate to, apparently, to a majority of my friend group to talk about fighting games.
Oh, like, it's always fun to talk about fighting games. It's always interesting to talk about. So this is, like, more MMO than it is fighting games. But I have heard, like, people who like fighting games have called Final Fantasy XIV the FGC retirement home.
I mean, we did get an entire expansions raid series that was quite literally the dark side of the ring.
Oh my god. But anyways, to sort of bring this back around, I'm a huge fan of Jalen's work. Their directing and writing chops have always spoke to me as somebody who, like, basically considers Yamada-kun his comfort show. And both Jalen and Ryan, like, working together on the script, it's got just so very down-to-earth, very conversational, extremely funny and cheeky without ever feeling... I feel this is like a show that you could have gone a little over the top, but I'm kind of glad they didn't because it feels like... kind of like a nice... how do I describe this?
It's not mean-spirited.
It is not mean-spirited. I was gonna say it's almost a little bit of, like, teen drama meets... Does describing it as, like, a little Lifetime original movie seem derogatory?
Yes.
Okay.
Andrew, that is like one of the most derogatory things you could say.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna describe it as, like, relatively chill shoujo.
Okay. I'm trying to, like, I am trying to compliment it. I was just trying to make, like, a description of, like, kind of like an, like... a television teen, like, romance, drama series that people who do not hyperfixate on anime would know.
Okay, I'd be shocked if any of those people were actually watching this podcast.
Okay, fair enough. It's like, okay, so if you on the other side of the computer have decided, I need a nice little break from shoving garbage romance into my fucking mouth hole, let's just make up a guy. Let's just make up a fantasy guy. Let's call him Greg. Let's say
God, you were about
have
as
decided
as a fucking brick, dude.
Let's decide you needed a nice little break from all the garbage you are watching with your friends and neighbors. And you just decided, I need something good. I need something that goes down and doesn't give me digestive diarrhea. That's what My Love Story is as a show. It's very chill. It's very good vibes. It's also just very well directed too. Like, not only just from, like, the dub direction, I mean, this is being done by, like, the premier shoujo guy at Madhouse. This show looks and, like, has creative, like, directing, animation, paneling, and it's also got the shoujo bubbles. It's got all the bubbles everywhere.
Sometimes, Andrew, you have wonderfully delightful insights, and sometimes you are about as subtle as a brick being thrown through a window.
Yeah, that's about what I'm about. Anyways, great little romance series. One that I could legitimately just recommend this to anybody. Like, there's a lot of anime romance where you're like, there's some kind of bullshit here. No, I could just give this one to anybody if they like good romance. I think I have given this to, like... I've given this to somebody on a Discord server, and they loved it. And they are not a big fan of, like, raunchy, trashy things. This was the guy on Discord who was forced to watch MILF Manor for a dare as context.
May God have mercy on his soul.
And he loved this one, so this is a show I could give to anybody.
And may God let the anime adaptations of the guy who gave him MILF Manor's mangas be absolutely garbage.
Amen. But anyways, this is tangented long enough. Jalen and Ryan are an incredible tag team that made this dub sound great. It's very funny. It's very heartfelt. It's a very good time. Mm-hmm. And with that, let's move on to our first group of characters. Let's call them the IRL sphere of characters in Akane and Akito's lives. This is Momika Maeda, Yukari Tsubaki, Takuma Furukawa, and Takeaki Okamoto. Yukari and Tsubaki and Okamoto are Yamada's high school classmate friends and gaming buddies. Like, he doesn't have a lot of, like, friends in real life, but these are, like, his group that goes to cram school with him that he actually hangs out with outside of, like, online MMORPGs or playing, like, FPS games together. Because traditionally, Yamada is a pro FPS player, so he has seen the horrors. He has probably seen and heard the horrors.
Yamada has heard some of the slurs that, like, I don't even know what Japanese FPS slurs would be.
I don't know. I don't feel educated enough to find out, but I'm sure if you know, you know. And you can just infer. The fact Yamada is just a good boy, with some of the potential company he plays with, is frankly kind of a miracle in itself. But Tsubaki and Okamoto, they're good beans. Okamoto's his dude pal who took one for the team so that he wouldn't have to do a pageant. And Tsubaki is his gal pal who may or may not also have some feelings that go unrequited.
Okamoto is a guy who unhinged his jaw like a snake to eat a hamburger.
Bless his heart. Takuma Furukawa is Akane's ex-boyfriend who started the inciting events of the series, and her IRL bestie, Momika Maeda, aka Momo, who is also her mutual train wreck heterosexual pal. She's trying to get a man. It's not working so well for her. God bless her, she's trying. She just keeps going on group dates and just coming up empty. And then she goes to Akane and is like, why are all the hotties playing your MMO? This is not fair.
It's true.
Playing this group of characters, playing Momika Maeda is Lauren Landa. Playing Yukari Tsubaki is Lizzie Freeman. Playing Takuma Furukawa is Howard Wang. And playing Takeaki Okamoto is Ryan Colt Levy. Ryan Colt Levy has played characters such as Kazuma Matsuoka in Blue Box, Shizuto Naruse in Komi Can't Communicate, Yuri Druis in The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, and Jazz M. Andro in Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. Howard Wang has played Atsushi Otani in Lovely Complex, Hiragi Kashima in Given, Tatsuya Himuro in Kuroko's Basketball, and Longa Reki, my love for skateboarding. Hasegawa is from Skate the Infinity. Lizzie Freeman has played Chitose Kaginoji in Tonikawa Over the Moon for You, Chisato Nishikigi in Licorice Recoil, Tao Norimaru in Sakamoto Days, and Tomoe Koga in the Rascal Does Not Dream series. And Lauren Landa has played characters such as Juno in Beastars, Riko Nagase in Sound Euphonium, Tsukasa Yuzuki in Tonakawa, and Sailor Neptune, aka Michiru Kaio in Sailor Moon. I believe that is the not butch lesbian.
Yes, that would be the, I hate that you're right, but yes.
That describes a lot of my friendships with the people on this podcast, is me saying something and them getting upset that I am technically correct.
The best kind of correct.
Alright, Jet, would you like to start us off on any of these?
Sure. Honestly, I kind of don't really have like a whole ton to say on Sakuma or Okamoto, like. I thought they were fine for like what their presence in the show required, but I kind of don't have too many thoughts on them. I think Howard Wang does a pretty good job of playing the kind of Thermal X, I think he does a pretty good job kind of filling the role there. I did think the recurring joke of like every time he happens to run into Akane and Akane's like. So, and Akane's like so sure, he's like regretting what he did, or like having some kind of second thoughts, and then so it's like, oh hey, Yamada's there, and ignoring her entirely was pretty funny.
God, she really does start the show as just like a total disaster, just doing her best.
Yeah, and then I thought Ryan Colt-Levy, just doing a pretty good job of this by the really supportive friend. Again, not like a ton of credits in the show, but I think he did a pretty good job for what the role they required. Lord Landa as Momika, Momika is just a lot of fun. Like Andrew was saying, really good job just playing the disaster heterosexual here, just really so desperate to get a man. Just feels so bad for her after a while. But it's also really funny to see her trying and failing at all these group dates in the background.
I will also say, for transparency's sake, I have not read past the anime. I probably should, because I think the manga is now past what the anime adapted in English.
I was very briefly considering doing so, but I probably will after this.
Yeah, unfortunately.
After this, I'm considering it. Yeah.
From what I understand, though, the official English release of Yamada-999 is not very good.
I'm assuming it is, like, middling, from my understanding, which...
I've heard the release is, like, not very well done.
I'm curious if that changed after a few volumes or not, so I will look into that maybe after this, but I have enough craving to see where this goes. This was my segue of Megan saying in the chat, man, I could see Momo and Eita being a thing, and I'm like,
yeah,
shit, I also could.
That was kind of my big reason for wanting to check out more of the manga, because I'm like, I'm kind of assuming that's probably going to be, like, the side couple for, like, whatever the remainder of the manga is.
I would assume so as well, because I'm curious to see them build up, but I'm like, you know what, I could see that being a reasonable side couple, too. Mm-hmm. Unless it becomes about Mr. Kamuta's fascinating life.
Okay, yeah, no, I'd watch that.
Going back to Lord, like, she's a really good comedic presence in the show. I just really love how much sass she has towards Akane, and just like being fed up with all of her problems. It's just really funny. And also really funny. Yeah, also thought it was really funny that like Ruda's introduced, and she's still kind of like a bit of a brat, like, but because like the first person to shut that down almost immediately, and that was really funny.
God, yeah. It's gonna be an interesting discussion when we talk about Ruda in a bit, but
I'm definitely gonna have some interesting words when we get to that. But I really liked Lauren here, and then Lizzie Freeman as Tsubaki. This is definitely pretty different from what I'm used to with Lizzie Freeman characters. I'm pretty used to her playing like very kind of energetic and peppy characters a lot of the time, so her playing a character that's a lot more like on the quiet side is definitely kind of an interesting change of pace here, but I think she does a pretty good job with it. Yeah, I think she does a pretty good job of making Tsubaki kind of seem pretty down to earth. She's a bit of a gamer girl, but not like so much so that she's kind of like over the top about it. She's just pretty chill with her. Like she likes what she likes. Though I do think it is pretty funny that like her first interaction with Yamada is like her complaining about the fact that she thinks he cheated the game. That was really funny.
That's a great way to start a friendship, is her playing against him and being like, yo, I call hacks. Show me.
And then, oh shit, he didn't do hacks.
Yeah.
And then he hacked into her heart.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was really hard not to feel bad for her and the fact that she just like very clearly had no chance. But
Yeah.
but I think at least did a pretty good job of portraying that arc and like all her desperation to kind of try really hard to bury her feelings and then just kind of having them spill out towards the end, only to kind of end her getting rejected. Definitely a bit of a depressing arc, but I do think it was handled really well, and I really like Lizzie's performance. So yeah, pretty well rounded supporting cast here. Not like it does to say with Takuma and Okamoto, but I did think they were like fine for what their roles were.
Okay. Megan?
I also don't have a lot to say about Ryan and Howard's character. I do think that I think Ryan's character Taki, I thought his name was Takoyaki for a second, like when you were saying it. Okamoto he's got that really good kind of bro vibe to him, and I really like what Ryan brings to that. I love that he's just being like, he's kind of the one who's like, well, you need to either ask him now or never, like, you're never gonna, like, you need to go. And I kind of feel like he might be, Tsubaki's, like, backup choice. Howard Wang's character, Get Bent. I hope that your pillow is warm, that your favorite game shuts down. And I enjoy the fact that he realizes now that he basically lost a good girl to, his favorite gamer. That's funny.
I do think, to give him a little benefit of the doubt, I do like the scene of him returning the Tupperware that does at least kind of
Yeah, I do kind of like it too. But, also in the sense that I think that's kind of the thing that made me realize where it's like, I don't think he's doing it to, like, be nice. I think he's doing it because he still might have lingering feelings. Because remember, he cheated on her.
That is true, yeah.
So
it's definitely, like, the idea of, like, if I keep this around, I might still remember something. Yeah, that is a reasonable read on that, too, yeah.
Yeah, and then, Momika. I love Lauren Landa as Momika. I like that she sounds a lot more put together. Of all things, she actually sounds a lot more put together than Akane does, but I love the fact that it feels so fake. That,
she's very good at playing the part.
Yeah, like, it's so clear that she's just, like, fake it till you make it, honey. I love when she's trying, what was it? The night butterfly?
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, keep going. Hey, can I do this? Absolutely not. What?
Night butter. And then it ends up, like, bouncing off in her face. But I like how Lauren had this also kind of, like, desperate hinge to her voice when she's explaining why she wants to get married. And she's doing it in front of, like, a 12-year-old.
Oh, like, the kid could not care less. And it's just like, she's just munching on chips while that's all going on, and her bestie's just playing a game, and it's like,
I honestly think Momika is probably one of the funniest characters in the series. She's just a delight. And then, I I said this to Andrew. Lizzie Freeman's Tsubaki performance very much gives me Jade Saxton vibes in the best way possible. Correct me if you can correct me if I'm wrong. This can be edited out. She's I think everyone right now is really used to Lizzie Freeman freaking out a little bit in the Amazing Digital Circus.
Oh yeah, no, she's Pomni.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, like, a thing, and she's really good in that. But, yes, I would agree, it is, alongside with what Jen had said, I associate her with a lot more, like,
upbeat,
high-energy characters.
Yeah, not this kind of very, like, softer, low-key, until the part where she just starts, you know, vomiting her feelings out at poor Yamada, who's like, I don't know how to handle this.
And, like, she recognizes that, but she's like, if I don't do this, I'm going to explode.
Yeah. And I genuinely like that, like, very heartfelt parts of her, where she's like, she's kind of the only other person who really knows why he wouldn't ask somebody out. And I think that guilt kind of really weighed on her, too. And you can feel it in how Tsubaki's trying to justify why she hasn't told him yet. And you're just like, girl, honey, boo-boo, honey boo-boo, sweetheart. And I think that's what really works about Lizzie's performance, is that it is so genuine and so, like, heartfelt. But at the same time, it also has this kind of very, like, funny undertone to it. Like, especially when the first time you meet her and it's like, I put your phone on a towel because it wouldn't stop vibrating.
Like, she's a little odd, but in, like, a way that very much means well.
Yeah, and I also genuinely like that she realizes that Akane is a good person and isn't super jealous of her. But yeah, no, I really liked all the performances in this part.
Like I said, I think I only would have liked to have seen a little more of her and Akane actually getting to be gamer friends together. Because I love them doing, like, the ridiculous boss raid, which... What was the thing you said was, like, the most cathartic thing for you again?
It was, you have angered the paladins on this day. To which, boy howdy, if you have somehow managed to piss off your fucking tank in an MMO, good luck surviving in the real world.
God, I also just enjoy the elaborate buildup of the bit as, like, millions of years go by and then they're just crashed out on the ground. Yeah. It was like,
oh, that part took me out.
I think the thing that, like, this show is great is, like, it's very deceptive and, like, it's got very good emotional tenderness, but it's also just really, really funny. Mm-hmm. It's got shit to say, but it's also, like, I got some, like, absolute belly guts bursted for this one. It's a great time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would also agree that, like, while Okamoto and Furukawa, like, they do not get as much, I wanted to just shout out Ryan Colt Levy, because a lot of people do know him as the Denji Chainsaw Man and all that, but, like, I like Ryan because he reminds me a lot of his character Jazz in Iruma-kun, who basically has, like, the role of pseudo big brother to, like, a bunch of people in his class already. And I feel like Okamoto has, like, the pseudo big brother vibes while also just a little bit... He's just a good guy. He's just a good dude. And he's not afraid to take one for the team. He's like, alright, everybody's going to harass you about being in this pageant. Don't worry. Your bro's got this. Hey guys, I'm in the baseball club. Hey, I like gaming and baseball. Hope you don't mind. Vote for me. And he's just angering, like, all of the girls in his school.
And every dude in the crowd's like, yeah!
Everyone's like, you got this, bro. You can do this. And all the girls are freaking out. And Tsubaki's like, you know you owe him for this big time, right? And he's like, yeah. But he is just a genuinely good guy, and I just love his exchanges by both understanding Tsubaki's feelings, understanding, like, Yamada as like, a good dude, and also just being a little... I forgot he unhinged his jaw for that hamburger. I was like, man, you hungry. And then, yeah. Howard's really good as her ex, who's kind of going through it, but also has mostly moved on as far as what we have seen in the series. Would not surprise me if he's got more going on, but I do think his little arc is interesting, as well as just the befuddlement of, oh shit, this guy I follow is now hanging out with my ex-girlfriend. I don't know how to react to that. I'm attempting to make a joke, but I don't know enough about the inner workings of, like, YouTuber drama, Twitch drama friend group couple discourse. Maybe I should consider myself lucky. I should consider myself lucky I don't know enough about that shit.
Good.
I'm sure there's some, like, absolute dumpster fires of, like, Twitch or, God forbid, Kickstars and their fucking friend groups. I'm glad I don't know any of that to even make a proper joke.
Yep. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, stay the fuck off Kick, kids. Just don't do it. Not even once. It is a hive of scum and villainy. But, you know who's also used to a hive of scum and villainy? Our good old girl, Momo. She's painfully straight woman with just the shittiest luck in men.
Yeah.
Just absolute, like, where the fuck are you finding these guys? Like, and she keeps trying. It's like, it's literally just rapid fire group dates, and it's like, oh, none of this is working. You don't like any of them. And it's like, Akane's so supportive of her, but Akane just kind of, like, pieces out of that romance stuff at the beginning, which, as an aside, I do like that the show is not about Akane sticking with online games because she's trying to make her ex jealous. She's just sticking with it because, oh, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I'm just gonna do this now.
I'm having fun.
And, like, by episode 1, he's already unfriended her, so she's not even like, well, alright, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do whatever.
Didn't he also take all of her gear or some shit, too?
I don't think he took all of her gear, but I think it was that he had just unfriended her, like, immediately after, and then she took her anger out on, like, dealing with a bunch of mobs, and that's when she ran into Afro Yamada. I love the fact that he's just got a stupid afro and, like, a blank expression.
Listen, man, glam is the end game.
Damn right. But yeah, Lauren Landa is just, she's really funny. She's, like, you're right in that she has the aura of being very put together, but is good at faking it, but is also kind of her own train wreck alongside Akane. Like, she tries to act like she's better than her, but, like, they're both getting wasted and knocking on Yamada's door in the middle of the night. And it's like, hey, buddy! I got your umbrella! Thanks! And it's like, hey, who's this hottie? And he's just like, please leave. Please
go
leave.
home. Get out of my house. I've got waffle fries.
Oh, God. But yeah, Lauren's a ton of fun. I enjoy her chemistry with Akane and the other characters she runs into, especially like Eita, and I do love her interactions with Runa because they are just the most oil and water together, but are just examples of Akane having two completely different friend groups
that interact with each other without hating the other side.
It's very fun. And then, yeah, I really, really liked Lizzie Freeman's quiet, stoic, but heartfelt girl in Tsubaki, which obviously having, like, the star highlight moments of episode 12 where she just lets it out and then please give me the time of day to hear me out, and it's just incredible scene. I love I love that scene, because Tsubaki already knows. She's not even pretending. I have a chance. Maybe I can convince him. I know I've already lost, but if I keep this inside, I'm going to explode. So please, humor me. Hear me out. So then it just kind of comes all pouring out. And then I like the fact that it's like the series' approach to moving on is not just like forget about them, it's not worth it. It's finding the healthy outlets to accept, grieve, and move on. Mm-hmm. And for Tsubaki, it's like, I need to tell you everything I felt and everything that's on my mind so I can properly move on. And it's not a bad thing to her. Like, it's not like, I regret this. It's, I'm so happy I fell in love with you. Even if I got my heart broken, I'm glad it was you. Mm. And I think even, like, Akane deals with that, too, a little bit with, like, Takuma, where it's like, for all the heartbreak and stuff, I'm still glad I got to be with you, and I'm glad I got to have the memories I did, because maybe someday you'll think about that and think, man, maybe I did have a good thing going. And I think that's really interesting. It's surprisingly mature for a show. Like, you would think, like, okay, these are all, like, young people that are kind of train wrecks, but no, they're figuring it out and doing their best with heartbreak. And, yeah, I definitely think this is a good group of characters, but I was especially impressed by Lauren and Lizzie's acting, comedy, and drama of the show, especially, and I quite liked it. Mm-hmm. So, with that, shall we move on to talking about, I think it's Chocolate Rabbit is the name of the guild? Yes, okay. So, we're going to be talking about the members of the guild, including Runa Sasaki, Eita Sasaki, Takezo Kamota, and the guild master themselves, Ryujin. Eita is Ryujin, Ryujin is Eita. Runa is the little sister that Eita based Ryujin on, which Sigmund Freud is like, we don't have enough time to dig through that.
No. That would be if it was based off his mother.
Okay, so I don't know who the Sigmund Freud of Syscons is. Who would be the Sigmund Freud of Syscons?
I don't know. I feel like you'd have to ask about a guitar fan that question.
No, you'd have to ask a Oremio fan.
Oh, God. No, I'm gonna be real. I don't think I feel like the Oremio author is not a true Sigmund Freud Syscon. I feel like they're like a fake Sigmund Freud Syscon, if that makes sense.
I cannot believe that we are discussing who is a true Syscon and who is a poser.
I was gonna say, Oremio feels like it is the audience that latches onto it, they are the fake fans of Syscons. They're not really in for it for the love of keeping it in the family.
Family.
What?
Question. Because, Syscon is keeping it in the family, it wouldn't be the Sigmund Freud of Syscons, it'd be the Vin Diesel of Syscons.
Okay, Andrew, who plays it?
Okay, so tell me in the comments. You know what? I'm gonna talk to Getter and Impy. They might know a lot about, like, Syscon VN stuff. Is it Type Moon? Is Type Moon the Sigmund Freud of Syscons?
No, but they are the Sunday Silence of visual novels.
This is such an interesting... This is a discussion for later. Anyways, yes.
If you think about it, a lot of horse breeding is Syscon.
Eita and Runa Sasaki, Takezo Kamito, and Ryujin, the members of Chocolate Rabbit. Eita is played by Landon McDonald, Runa is played by Michelle Marie, Takezo Kamita is Brooke Chalmers, and Ryujin is Lily Pichu. Lily Pichu has played characters such as Yoshi in Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Love Cute in Mashal Magic and Muscles, Iono in the Pokemon Masters game, and Nico Wakatsuki in Witch Watch. Brooke Chalmers is Sakonji Urokodaki in Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, Masami Kiryu in Witch Watch, and Dr. Adatara and the Editor-in-Chief in City the Animation. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but because I made a comment and I'm like, I'm not going to fucking say this name on recording, and then Jet said to me, don't be a fucking coward. Don't be a fucking coward. You should do it. So, Brooke Chalmers is Keisher Zelrech Swinorg in Fate Strange Fake Whispers of Dawn.
Good job.
There! I did it! You can't call me a pussy anymore, motherfucker.
Hey, Andrew, check the chat.
Mobile suit Cisco. Oh my god! Oh my god, it is! It's... Ah! No.
Wait, is he?
Ah!
Wait, he's not a Cisco. Well, I mean,
Yeah, he was.
look, he's problematic for other reasons, but he's technically not a Cisco.
Okay, so... Oh, god, we're actually talking about Iron-Blooded Orphans now. What's his fucking name again? I know he sucks. He's McGillis. Okay, no. McGillis is not a fake Siscon. He's a fake Lolicon. There's a difference.
I just like rage baiting Andrew.
I hate... You know how to rage bait me, and I fucking fell for it, too. You're fucking talking about McGillis. Anyways... Where the fuck was I? Yes, I talked about Brooke Chalmers and Louis Pichu. Michelle Rhee, as Runa, has played characters such as Tatiana in Undead Unluck, Nana Hiragi in Talentless Nana, Komachi Izume in Go-Go Luger Ranger, and Katarina in Arte. And Landon McDonald has played characters such as Tomoya Takamine in Honey Lemon Soda, Koki Suido in Tokyo 24th Ward, Soshiro Hoshino in Kaiju No. 8, and Alistair Schneider in Welcome to Demon School, Irma-kun. How about we do this in groups? So how about Kamota and Ruihime first? Megan?
Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead. Oh, holy shit, Shart, Android. Sorry, I got distracted.
You got distracted trying to rage bait me.
No,
actually, you know what?
I got distracted because I looked at Blue Sky for 1 second. I was like, oh, look, it's Shart!
Okay, I'm going
Okay.
to... Okay, continue.
Anyway, while Andrew copes and seethes. So, I liked Lily Pichu as Ruihime. She definitely had the cutesy mascot voice down to a T. I 100% believe that a man like Eita would 100% play a girl character. And hi, I'm about to out my entire Final Fantasy XIV guild.
Hell yeah! Drag them into the light, motherfucker.
Alright, you motherfuckers. I would like to point out that when I started playing, that only 2 of the guys, the people who identify as male in my Final Fantasy XIV group, actually played as male characters. 2. They were Harb and Grim. For anybody knows, hi, I'm calling you all out by name. Getter plays as a woman. Multiple women.
I can believe that 100%.
Azure, woman. Swift, lady player. Hot lady players, actually. All of them have really hot women in game, and that upsets me. It offends me deeply. So yeah, so when I brought on board, there was only 2 other girl players in our entire group. And they all played... Actually, no. Only the 1 girl player played the girl. The rest of the girl players had at least, like, their main character was a male player. Was a male avatar. Holy shit. Anyway, hi, I'm calling out my free company. I love Lily Pichu's Ruihime. I love the fact that Ruihime has a cult, like the cat teacher from Netoge, because as you know, Yamada-999 is the anti-Netoge.
It is because of the Netoge episode that we are doing the Yamada-kun dub talk.
If you think about it, you remember Jordan Peele's Us?
Okay, where are you going with this?
You know how there's, like, a tethered version and then, like, a version that lives up on the top? Is Netoge the tethered version of Yamada-999? the version we keep in the basement?
Yamada-kun lives in the sun. Netoge lives in the underground.
I live inside you forever!
I've loved that I had to ask people these questions, and everybody I have added is just very upset. Like, Andrew, what the fuck are you talking about? What does that even mean?
And then you talk to me and it's like, this makes total sense. And then Jet's here like, Megan, I don't know why I talk to you sometimes. I feel like, legitimately, sometimes I feel like Andrew is my translator for everybody else because he's the only one who understands what the fuck I'm getting at. This is why we're siblings.
Is this a good time to be talking about sibling relationships?
Shut your fucking mouth. Chalmers as Kamada, who I'm just lovingly describing as a cryptid. We don't know anything about Kamada other than Strawberry's business, and I love the fact that he plays, like, a character race that is so small you have to zoom the screen in on it.
He's just a little guy. It's his birthday.
I love him. I love Brooke Chalmers as Kamada. He's so funny. Because the thing is that, like, here's the thing about Brooke Chalmers' performances as Kamada. Everything Kamada comes off as even funnier because it's just Brooke Chalmers doing a little old man voice. It is inherently funny just to hear him be like, "We're coming, Akane!" And he's like, "Yeah, but you're going the wrong direction." And he's like, it's like Mrs. Doubtfire.
I love Kamata's inclusion in the show because, like, I feel like the author of this is at least aware of online communities and MMOs, and instead of, like, Kamata being, like, the creepy older guy playing with a bunch of teenagers, he's just the old guy that everybody's friends with that's just a good dude. Like, I'm going to call out our friend Got MLK7 for, in their comic Love and Be Love, like, when the girlfriends are meeting, like, her online Discord friends, and then there's just the dad in his 40s. It's like, you're friends with a dad in his 40s? Every Discord has a dad in their 40s in their server. And that's what Kamata is.
Andrew, are you telling me that you have a Discord daddy?
Isn't that what Hardy? Isn't that Hardy?
Yes, I was gonna say we don't have a dad. I was gonna say we don't have a dad in our 40s, but I mean, no one's close enough.
Noah does not. No, okay, Jet. Let's be real. Noah barely qualifies as an adult some days.
Okay, Noah is Discord dad. Hardy is just Discord daddy. Do with that what you will.
Technically, we have two Discord daddies now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Him and Harb.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, like, there was an entire conversation where they were like, we're, like, the same age.
I learned something new.
Or they have, like, a very similar, like, remembrance of things. I'm not calling Harb old, but I would put Harb in, like, that tier.
Yeah.
Also,
anyways,
Jet, I don't know if you've I'm sorry to bring up our Discord, Jet. I don't know if you've actually read what's happening on our Discord, but it's funny as shit.
I glad it's over here.
I added everybody who is the Sigmund Freud of Syscons, and everybody's very upset at me.
What the fucking Matata did I just witness? Killing me. Anyway, I just love Mr. Kamada. I just love when so in the last episode where they go to the nice restaurant. And all these, like, people are like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Kamada," and it's like, they're all, like, big CEOs and professors. I like how Akane's like, does anybody else see this happening? Like, am I high? Like, what the fuck? And Ada's like, oh, I guess he must be popular. And then there's Runa who's like, fuck this shit, meat.
She's like, I want meat! And it's like, you're so valid for that. But also, I love Mr. Kabuta is just the most moe character. He is more moe than Ryujin.
It's true.
It's true. He is just a good little man. He is so cute. He has a big heart. He threatens to, like, beat the No, he doesn't threaten to beat the shit out of the creepy guy. He's like, I'm friends with a really good lawyer, okay? Your ass is grass. And it's like, I believe that. I believe you know a man that will send him to jail. Do you think he's like an ex-president of a company that just sold it off and is just like, I'm just gonna be a farmer now and play games?
Probably. But yeah. No, I loved his performance.
Alright. Jet, Ryujin and Takazo.
Yeah, I like Lily P2 as Ryujin. Let's say, Lily P2 is pretty good at doing these sort of, like, overly cutesy roles, and, really good job of it here. A really good job of just kind of sounding kind of over the top with it in a way that kind of makes sense given what the joke here is, and it does a pretty good job of balancing that with actually being like a pretty good source of wisdom when the time calls for it, and kind of made you want to help Akane navigate through all her life problems. And I think that Lily does a pretty good job of like balancing those two sides of Ryujin pretty well. And then Brooke Chalmers says Takazo here. It's like, yeah, just like really good at just playing a really kind, friendly old man who just, I know, may or may not be like a secret CEO or Yakuza guy or something. But I was like, but yeah, just like a really nice, comforting presence in the show. Just like a really kindly, not grandpa, but just kind of has that energy about him.
He's not like grandpa, he's like cool, he's like your cool, nice uncle who he doesn't know ball about fandom, but he absolutely knows how to get you like the good like nerd presence.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's a very delightful presence. I do think the whole like I know a good lawyer bit was pretty funny. Just like a really nice, chill character. I don't have anything bad to say here.
And alright, yeah. But I really like how Ryujin is simultaneously like her she in a weird way she is like her own character because Eita Sasaki has like OC'd her so hard to make her become her own character that you forget that that's actually just Eita sometimes throughout the show. But yeah, Lily's just got this very sweet, comforting moe presence to her. But also she's very funny and silly and it's like, I can just do whatever I want. I'm just gonna sit here and watch you kids play and try. That'll be nice.
If you want help, just ask me.
She's like, I can't tell. She is simultaneously useless, but also she is really strong. So it's like she knows she's really strong, so she's like, I'm just gonna sit here and smell the flowers because I would ruin your experience if I just killed all the enemies for you. So she's actually a very considerate player. Because I feel like there's some MMO discrepancy where it's like, I'm gonna help you speed through this game if you're a low level, but it's like, you're not really experiencing the game there. You're just kind of along for somebody else's ride. She's like, I want you to actually experience the game and have fun and have a good time.
That was literally my Final Fantasy XIV experience.
Alright, fair enough. And then there's Kabuta, which is just... I love little moe strawberry farmer man who might be an executive or a president or maybe ex-Yakuza. He might have some Yakuza friends. I don't know. I would believe it. Do you think he has, like, Yakuza friends that are, like, grinding in the dungeons for, like, rare items?
I just love I just also love the fact, by the way, that he literally gave Eita all of the day-to-day management just so the so that he could just go in the dungeons all day and fuck off.
He just likes his me time. He likes just doing dungeon stuff and hanging out. And it's like he can also just turn into a big fucking beefy boy in battle. That was a great end of episode bit where it's like, all right, time to fight. Just like the screen just flashing all over.
The floor noises.
Yeah, the fact that we don't see it just 10 out of 10 joke.
This show just got really good punchlines, and every end of episode is like an all-timer.
By the way, there is now an ongoing poll about who the Discord daddy is.
I'm so glad we have just ruined our server tonight because of this conversation. I'm giving you an internet high five right now.
By the way, the really funny part is that all of us refuse to actually tell them what the fuck's going on.
Oh yeah, we have an episode. It'll come out in a few weeks.
Yeah, by the way, Jet and Andrew, do not mention any of this ever out until this episode comes up. I want this to be a psychological experiment.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Anyways, while everything else is burning, let's get back to it. Yeah. So, with that being said, I really like Brooke, I really like Lily, I think they're very charming and moe, and very much bounce off each other, ton of fun. I really do appreciate that Kamata exists as, like, a very positive representation of just, like, an older dude just playing MMOs, just having a good time, and just being a nice fellow, is kind of a nice contrast to, like, the random uncomfortable guy that gets DM'd online, and how they actually portray that as, like, obviously they don't play him to, like, the most extreme level, but that kind of sketchy guy played by Jalen Cassell themselves, that's very sketchy and uncomfortable, and it's like, they do play that moment with a level of severity at, like, oh, this is actually risky and dangerous and kind of messed up. So let's talk about the Sasaki twins now. No, not twins, not twins.
They're not twins.
They're not twins. Siblings. They are siblings. Which...
Siblings.
God. Alright, we have Eita and we have Runa. I think we should talk about them together next. Jet, would you like to start with Eita and Runa?
Sure. Starting with Eita. Yeah, Planet McDonald's is a lot of fun here. Really, I know we talked before about, like, a lot of these characters being very down to earth, and that's definitely hold true. But I think if there's any character who's, like, really not, like, super theatrical, but does kind of have, like, a really, really embrace the new taco energy here, it's simply Eita. Atlanta does a pretty good job of leading into that. Just like really good job of making him sound like a very, just like a very energetic geek without going like too heavy-handed with it. And he's generally just a lot of fun. Yeah, kind of clearly having a good time with whatever it is he's doing. And it's just really fun watching it bounce off the other characters. And then I think they do a pretty good job of balancing that with him. Kind of being able to sort of serve as a voice of reason for, like, his sister Yamada, just doing a pretty good job of knowing when to rein him in when the time calls for it, and I think White did a pretty good job of, like, contrasting those two sides pretty well to the point where, yeah, you can see how he is also Ryujin, and I think they do a pretty good job of kind of drawing that connection there pretty well. So, yeah, really like what Landon's doing here. And then, getting into Runa, I think I like Michelle's performance. Think she does a pretty good job of leading into what the character is going for with, like, the whole very kind of cutesy, like stocks in the third person kind of energy about her. Very clearly kind of going for, like, very kid sort of energy, and I think Michelle does a pretty good job of getting all that across. Really fun. Watching her bounce up Akane, wants two of them actually become friends, and her sort of, sort of kind of being the little sister there, and very clearly just kind of wanting all of Akane's attention and being very, very upset whenever she doesn't get it, which is usually pretty funny, especially when Momo comes around and is just like having absolutely none of that. So yeah, and I do think her like general, I did also kind of like get a pretty good laugh out of some of her like, I guess kind of like a couple of her like little bits of ignorance when it comes to like romance and like the whole, I did kind of get like a little bit of a kick out of the thing where like, where Yamada was over at one point and her mom was like, oh wow, you two make such a good couple, and her having like, no idea what's happening.
Like her mom's like trying. You want to talk about uncomfortable age gaps? The mom's trying to ship the 18-year-old with like the 14-year-old. Right. And it's like, Mama, you stop that right now. And they're just very ignorant. They're like, what the fuck are they talking about? I don't know. That's weird.
It's like, speaking of that, this isn't a criticism of performance. It's just sort of a thing that like it's not something that I would say like ruined the show for me, but it is just something like I kind of thought about it and found like a little questionable. Is that kind of when we're like introduced to Runa? Like I said before, she does kind of have this very kind of like childlike energy about her, which the show is pretty consistent with. And I think it does kind of work for the through line of her introduction, where she's just kind of meant to be like where she does kind of have the energy of kind of being like a very spoiled brat, and it does kind of bleed pretty heavy into her like early interactions with Akane and her really not liking the idea of her being in a group. And then, like Andrew was saying, getting into the whole thing with like the really creepy otaku guy she sets Akane up with in the hope that she'll like leave the group or whatever. And that whole situation was like surprisingly tense for this show. Like, that was definitely like the most anxiety-inducing thing in the show, and I was, it's definitely very good that they played that. It's definitely very good that they played that seriously. And then, I think because they played that seriously, I was like maybe. I don't want to say I think Luna got off like too light, but I did think it was. I don't know. I did feel like that was maybe like hand waved like a little bit, and I was kind of willing to roll with that because, like again, when Runa was introduced, you are kind of given the impression that she's like kind of a kid who doesn't really know any better, and I think like through a lot of the show, she's sort of like written as though she's like 8 or 9, and then like later on the show, we do kind of where it's like okay, she's like actually a teenager, like 14 or 15, getting ready to enter high school. Which I mean, I guess in any other context wouldn't bother me too much, but I guess it's kind of like looking back to the whole like situation they put Akane in. I guess it's a sort of a thing where like if he was like younger, I could sort of like maybe look past it as her generally not knowing any better, but like her being like slightly teenagerish just kind of makes the uncomfortable of that situation just kind of feel a little more suspect.
Okay, I was curious, like, because I feel like the biggest conversation of contention I could see happening is Runa's character and her arc and development, which I will say at the end of it, I think I was able to buy and roll with it a little more.
Like for the most part, I like the character. It's just kind of like, that was just sort of like a weird bit of disconnect there. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the sort of thing where, like, if the character was younger, I would have, like, a much easier time hand-waving that introduction, but because we know she's, like, actually a teenager, it is, like, a little weird to just sort of hand-wave that.
She's a middle schooler, so she should kind of know better.
I will also counterpoint and say, middle schoolers are terrible and horrible creatures.
Again, if they were playing it that way, that's fine. But played into those he generally had no idea what was going to happen to Akane, and like.
I assumed it was. I was assuming that it was basically she was just gonna get like a weird guy to put her off, and she didn't realize the severity of actually how fucked up that could be or how dangerous that could be. Which, I can see the logic of the age being a little questionable with that arc. I do enjoy the fact that something of actual consequence, or at least of actual, like, Runa actually fucking up, and this was a believable, I can actually genuinely believe this character fucked up. People are legitimately really mad and going to yell at her, and that's why she was so surprised by Akane actually just being like, alright, you're gonna level with me? I want to talk to you and actually get to know you. Which, I do genuinely really like that. Which, alright, I get... Alright, yeah.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, you want to go more into that because I have a lot more thoughts, but you should go first.
Don't worry, I was just psychologically torturing our experiment while we were going on.
I was going to say, like, I'm trying not to mess with the test subjects, but I figured you're like, oh, I gotta know.
Listen, man. This episode has a B-plot now, and this is it. I want to start with Runa because I still wanted to punt her into the sun after the show ended. What a miserable little child. Like, I will say this, though. I don't think the show lets her off easy. I think Akane lets her off easy because, let's be real, Eita pretty much ripped her a new asshole at home. And that's what the
absolutely.
Like, the show kind of explicitly states Akane is being nice to her because Eita is going to give her the lashing of a lifetime for it.
Oh, that's exactly what they do. It's like, okay, they're going to give you shit already. It's not me to cast judgment. I'm here because I want to get to know you.
Granted, I also think what she did was actually really dangerous, and even if the guy just turned out to just be kind of creepy, had she had, like, unfortunately, and especially in Japan recently, you can't pull that shit.
Yeah.
But I think
that's fair.
I think Michelle Marie does a really good job of getting across how bratty Runa is. I would say I have more of a complaint that she really didn't learn her lesson in regards to Tsubaki joining the guild. That felt like, really, are we really fucking going back?
That kind of annoyed me a little too.
Like, I felt more annoyed by that than I did anything else. It's like, we just did this entire arc and explained why she's like this and saw her trying to get better, and then it's like, oh, she's just going back to doing that again. Like, what the fuck?
I think that's a fair criticism, I'll give it that. At the very least, I think that's a fair criticism. I don't dislike the fact that she is still kind of a brat work in progress throughout, but I will agree that that does seem a little regressive for her arc to just kind of immediately say, I don't want her here, or at least be a little like, I don't want her here, but alright, sure, why not?
Yeah,
I
think the reason why is that we see her being bratty everywhere else, and like how she monopolizes Akane's time, even though Akane like monopolizes Akane's time. Like when they go to the festival and she doesn't eat the night before because she wants to eat there, and then doesn't eat anything until it gets her sick, and then she's got to run around. She makes them kind of run around the whole school for her while she's just up in the nurse's office the whole time, like that type of shit.
I don't, like I said, at the very least that, I do not believe she did that out of manipulation.
No, that was just her being a dumbass.
That was her just totally being a dumbass. But then also, like, she is still, like, a silly creature that gets to eat the takoyaki with the big funny lips.
And, like, the whole thing is that, like, they kind of explain that the reason she's a brat is because of her family.
Oh, it's like completely like sheltered.
It was done to her, and like I kind of really liked her like wanting to make friends, but she doesn't like any of the girls in her class, and she doesn't like any of the boys, but she'll still do that stuff. And I think Michelle Marie really gets across how childish Runa is. I still just, want to send her to baby jail.
I think that's fair. At the very least, I think the show alleviates that because it's very clear that there are characters who, like, will not let her get away with that shit or will kind of, like, put her off. Like, Akane is interesting in that Akane is nice to her, but Akane is also willing to tell her if she's being a bit much or she's being unfair or she's being a little rude. And then Momo is like, I am going to kill this child.
I'm with Momo.
Momo's the one who's like, I'm going to put this child in the orbit.
Yeah, and then that's all I really have. I think that Runa is just... I really like Michelle's performance also because it's just not the it doesn't feel like the stereotypical little, like, Emoto voice that you get from a lot of people. It has kind of an edge to it.
I think the fact that she's got... You are right in that it's just got the right amount of, like, bite to it that makes it work.
I'm not gonna lie. If you told me that Runa would bite somebody in real life, I'd believe you.
Oh,
I'm kind of shocked she didn't bite anybody in the show, if I'm being honest. But also, like, she does help Akane. She is very nice to Akane. And, like, also trying to help her with her relationship issues in ways where she doesn't really understand this. And she's like, I watched a lot of dumb anime shit. I think that's how it works. So she's like, alright, girl, you gotta go take a shower right now. What? Why? For reasons, for progression. It's like, what? Yamada, are you gonna take a shower? I don't live here. And then she just shoves the toast in Akane's mouth, and her reaction is just to eat it. And she's like, no, you're not supposed to eat it. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Okay, to be fair, that's also because her brother was encouraging her to do that.
This is true. But at least she also was like, hey, maybe you should put those bras away. And it's like, yeah, that's a real one. That's a real one. Ugh. But I also would agree that Michelle Marie is just a very fun character. I do think she does a lot with Runa to kind of make her that right level of, like, bratty, mischievous, while also kind of making her, like, she is a kid that is still trying to figure out all this shit that was sort of sheltered and kind of grew up on the internet, which I think that's the other angle I want to at least mention is we have learned in recent years growing up on the internet may be a little detrimental to one's social and emotional well-being.
This ain't the day of this ain't the age of Neopets anymore.
This ain't the age of Neopets anymore. This is the cursed Roblox Fortnite era.
God.
Yep! I said that, and I felt like a sinking pit in my chest as I said that. But yes, I do think,
God,
like...
Roblox SysCon.
No, Roblox is also not SysCon. Roblox is just straight up pedophilia. That's...
It's true. SysCon online.
What?
Nothing. Go on.
This is simultaneous. Okay. Chet, thank you for being friends with us.
I try.
Remember, Jet, you can. It is always morally correct to blackmail your friends when they are being evil.
This is true. But yes, I really like Michelle Marie and especially Runa's character arc, because I think you're right in that I do feel the show does imply that there is actual comeuppance coming. Akane is just the one that's kind of letting her off because she really does want to get to know her. And then that leads to the interesting dynamic of actually being nice to Akane while still being a brat work in progress throughout the majority of the show. Which I think does still work. I would agree that the Tsubaki thing is a bit regressive. I hadn't considered that. I think that's a fair criticism. But I adore Michelle's performance. I think she's very funny. I think she's very interesting. I think her bouncing off of Akane especially is a ton of fun. As well as her with her brother. So I guess this is a good time to segue into Landon McDonald as Eita Sasaki.
What a little ham.
Oh, Landon McDonald is just a generational talent at this point. He's fucking going for it, and he is incredibly funny. He is funny while managing to make himself sound like really cool, suave, and handsome when he's working for a cafe, while everybody else is like, oh, you're a fucking otaku dweeb, Siscon. You're a train wreck, but you're our train wreck. Bless. I love Landon so much as Eita. He's so funny.
I guess I'll keep going because I started. The thing I like about Eita is, first of all, his entire speech on how he is Ruruhime and Ruruhime is he. This man does not see a break between where Eita ends and Ruruhime begins. And I find that genuinely kind of comforting. I like how Akane ends up coming to see that as a comfort in their friendship. Because, like, let's be real, I feel like Akane kind of had that moment where, like, she could have, like, if this was a lesser show where, like, she finds out Ruruhime is the guy. Because, I remember, on their initial meeting, she thinks that Runa is Ruruhime.
Yeah.
And to the uncomfortable level where she keeps only addressing her by that instead of asking. And, like, I understand why that would, like, also really upset Runa, because, like, hey, you only like me on first meeting or think you like me because I am this character that you've comforted in, but meanwhile it's actually my brother, and, you know, my brother based her off me, which that is still, like, a little bit kind of creepy. To, like, base your, like, character off your sister and, like, get, like, I think it wouldn't be as creepy if Ruruhime didn't have the cult following, to me, honestly.
Fair enough.
But I like that he plays Eita with, like, this kind of Cheshire Cat, like, half, but this also genuine warmth behind him. Because it's very clear to Eita that he kind of has figured out that Akane and Yamada are gonna get together. And I like that he is the foil to, I would say, Momika, Akane's best friend, in that he is also kind of this, like, assured confidant. And I really love in, I think, episode 12, where she's like, you were the two people I wanted to say ask this to first. And
she's like, I confided with you so much, and I trust you so much. You are the two people I wanted to tell first. And I think that's extremely sweet. I think that's such a sweet little moment for their characters.
And I really love I think it's episode 11, where he handles the two douchebags at the cafe.
Oh, I love that too, yeah. Where it's like, they're being very pushy, and he's like, get the fuck out.
Hi, would you like to get the hell out of my establishment? So, but I think he's honestly probably the best supporting performance in the show, to me, honestly. Like, he sometimes steals the scenes, but I think Eita just does that in general, so.
Eita is very charming, charismatic, and also just a very silly Billy.
Yes.
Like, I was trying to think, he's not exactly Moe, he's more like...
No, that man is Moe.
You know what it's... Do you know Neko arc from, like, Melty Blood and, like, Fate Grand Order?
Andrew?
Neko arc?
Andrew.
Yes?
Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
Andrew, do you think I, a person who has watched a ton of Fate, who plays Melty Blood at times, and literally made her fucking phone's text noise, knows what Neko arc is?
Okay, fair point.
Andrew, that is like asking a fisherman, does he know what a sea bass is?
Alright, I apologize.
That's like asking an alcoholic, do you know what beer is? Oh yeah, this the sick underground character, Neko arc, who has not been a fucking meme for God knows how long. like, hey, Marvel fan, do you know who Spider-Man is?
Okay, I get it. My point is...
You come into my house on the day of my daughter's wedding and ask me about Neko Arc?
He reminds me of Neko Arc, that's all I can say.
Thought I knew you, man.
Alright, point taken, Jet.
Yeah, I gotta really have too much ad here.
No, ad.
Fair enough. Sorry. Eita is definitely a ton of fun. I enjoy his antics, his shenanigans, but also the fact that he is just a nice guy. He's a chill dude. He's actually a reliable friend to Akane and the guild. And hell, he's even a good friend to Yamada, where it's like, I clearly like you and I want you to be happy, but you put a lot of pressure and a lot of things on yourself that are not fair to you. And, like, I can tell he's very happy for the both of them. He's like, you know what, I'm happy for you too. And maybe he might get with Momo. I don't know if he'll get with Momo, but I feel like I could fuck with that. And with that, I think it's time we move on to our titular love story. That is Akane Kinoshita and Akito Yamada. Akane is a 20-year-old college student who got her heart broken and is now trying to play her comfort MMO to get over the breakup before running into this kind of weird guy in her guild named Yamada, finding he doesn't care, and then running into each other at the Foss event, and then their paths cross, and then a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Akane is played by Abby Trott, and Yamada is played by Stephen Fu. Stephen Fu has played characters like Sakuta Azusagawa in the Rascal Does Not Dream series, Kaname Sudo in Darwin's Game, Lance Crown in Mashal, Magic and Muscles, and Morihito Otogi in Witch Watch. I'm so glad I wrote down Lance Crown before I brought up the whole fucking Syscon Sigmund Freud shit.
Is his character a Syscon in that?
His character's a big Syscon!
See, Andrew has a very specific trauma that he would like to talk about.
There is literally... Okay, so this is going to come up in a later season. There is a literal fight in the Mashal manga between the Syscon and, like, the Mother Complex guy. There's a literal battle between a Syscon and, like, a mommy complex. Mashal's a weird shit. What the fuck is this? Why?
Thank you for that little bit of... Thank you for the nightmares, Megan.
You're welcome.
And Abby Trott has played characters such as Riko Ida in Kuriko's Basketball, Satsuki Amamiya in Mono, Shizuka Mikazuki in Zom 100, and Momo Ayase in Dun 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 Dun. And Jet, the floor is yours. Would you like to talk about our love-struck duo?
Sure. Gonna set the mood here with a bit of a cheap joke, but a very obvious, but a very important one. Wow, you know, if I had a nickel for every time Stephen Fu played a character with autistic riz, I'd have 2 nickels, which doesn't sound a lot, but just very bizarre. It happened twice.
Oh my god, he does have the same autistic riz as Morihito, doesn't he? Oh my god, you're right! I didn't even think of that, you're right.
I was literally just thinking that, like...
Rise up, autistic Rizzlers!
That came up like an hour ago and I just had to.
What?
But Stephen Fu just, I really like him as Yamada here. Does a really good job of playing him. Initially, he's kind of, you know, like when you first meet him, you're just kind of supposed to find him, like, very aloof and, like, maybe a little off-putting, and I think that Stephen does a pretty good job of kind of getting that attitude across. But then, like, the more time you spend with him, you see, like, no, he actually is, like, a pretty actually like a pretty chill guy. He's just like very much on the awkward side. I think that Steven does a pretty good job of getting all those elements across too, and get across in a way that feels like very natural. I really do just like the evolution of the character and how you kind of get to see a lot more of his thought process as the show goes along, and the ways in which he just kind of doesn't really kind of understand how romantic relationships and all of that really works. It's just sort of something he hasn't really wrapped his mind around, and I think that Steven does a pretty good job of kind of getting those words across pretty well. Um, I thought like the whole like childhood flashback with the other girl there was kind of pretty interesting, where he just where it's something that's just kind of not away in the back of his mind, where he wasn't really sure what he was supposed to say there. It's just something that's sort of in the way of him all this time, and I think that Steven does a pretty good job of getting those regrets across pretty well. And yeah, I really like the performance a lot. Really good. It's a really good rapport with a lot of the other characters. Really good back and forth with Eita, where he's just kind of forced to sometimes play the straight man to a lot of Eita's like really campy antics, and then obviously really good chemistry with Amitron Sakane. His Cloud Energy does a really good job of kind of matching her, like, sort of being all over the place emotionally, and I think the vibe there is pretty nice. And then getting into Abby Trazakane. Yeah, this is a very this is a performance that feels very comfy. I say Akane just sort of feels like a very, I don't know, I feel like saying chill and down to earth feels like, I don't know, maybe like a little demeaning in a sense, but yeah, I don't know, I think, but I just really, I think there is just something about the way Amitron plays the character that's just kind of like, yeah, that's just kind of like a really relaxing vibe to the character. You just, she's just really delightful and charming in a way that just makes the character feel really easy to root for, and feel pretty down to earth and normal in a way that's does a pretty good job of bouncing off of all the other, like, not super eccentric, but definitely more energetic personalities that she has to deal with, and I think that Abby does a pretty good job of getting that across really well, and also does a pretty good job of dealing with a lot of Akane's regrets regarding her past relationship, and sort of trying to figure out like where how she wants to progress in life, and I think that Abby does a pretty good job of getting across all those troubles in a way that consistently feels pretty believable, and yeah, this is a really delightful performance. I just really like what Abby brings to the table here. Like, yeah, no, I feel like I'm just kind of rambling here because, I don't know, like it really is just kind of a very nice performance. It's just really good.
Oh, that's fair, and I would agree. Megan.
I loved Steven and Abby in this. Steven, it's so different for me because I need to finish Witch Watch. I'm so sorry. I've always kind of heard Steven as a little bit more upbeat and happy-go-lucky little guys. So hearing him be this kind of more stoic and reserved Yamada, who I feel like the show did a really great job empathizing why he doesn't like the idea of relationships, the idea that he's always been so pretty and he was being nice to the girl because he was being asked to, like the teacher was like, he was just like, I was just doing what they asked me to do, and he becomes genuine friends, but that friendship hurt the other person because people were jealous of her, and it wasn't something he couldn't control. Like, you feel really bad for him. And this idea that the relationship with Akane is kind of this first thing that's really given him the chance to change, and her the chance to change too, I think Steven handles it really well. There aren't a lot of times that he gets to, raise his voice or be angry, but there's this sense of warmth as he starts opening up. And it's really funny that there's an entire scene where Akane is able to tell the difference only in how his mood is because of his voice. And even he doesn't get it himself.
He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, something's off.
And it's like, what the fuck? And it's... I think everybody who's been kind of the quiet stoic one in their life always kind of understands that feeling. Like, that's kind of like with me and Patrick. It's like, I can tell something's wrong before he is. And then Abby as Akane is just... She is just, like, the heart and soul of the show. She is a bright, boundless ball of energy. I love how both pathetic and warm she is. Like, her drunk stuff is great. I love it the very last episode where it's like, yeah, I've got a younger boyfriend. And the friend's like, oh, I can never date a younger guy again. I was the mature woman. We never saw eye to eye. She's got the rock on her head.
Oh, she's, like, so upset. She's like, oh, no.
And then Momika's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Stop bragging. And just, like, I love when, she's gotta fake it to make it about her stomach, like, oh no, I need level 1 fucking Pepsi.
I need, like, counter OTC medicines. I need all the boys to go that way, and you get the fuck out of here. I need her to rub my tummy to feel better.
The rest of you leave, especially you creepy guy who I love, he still asks her out. She's like, what is wrong with you?
It's like literally everybody's left and it's like, oh, I knew you were a woman for me. Please marry me. Get the fuck out!
Out of here. Like,
It's just like the Freakazoid. Leave! You're a creep!
Akane, like, I 100% see Akane as a paladin player where, like, she's so warm, but she's also so fucking done with this shit. I love the dynamic between the two of them. This, like, very great balanced yin and yang. It's honestly one of the better, like, couples performances in a romance anime, because unfortunately, and I think it's helped by the writing of the show. Like, I won't lie that a lot of romance animes these days are, especially when they're shoehorned into isekai and fantasy anime, aren't very good, and I'm kind of glad that we're starting to get a resurgence of older shoujo now getting made for some fuck-ass reason. Let's go Hanakimi, season 2.
Yeah, I would definitely say that as I have gotten older, I've learned which are these romances I actually like, or am I tuning into this one because I need some shit today? Which, I have a couple of people I ask. Josh is kind of like my go-to of, am I going to vibe with this romance? And Greg is, I need you to tell me about the bullshit going on in this fucking trash. We love you, Greg. You tell me. You are the reason I know how bad things get.
Anyway, I'm good if Andrew wants to finish up.
Fair enough. Okay. I would say I do adore this couple. I adore this romance. I would agree that yes, Stephen Fu has a genuine charm to him, while also just being a little confused and just kind of going about it. But you do hear the subtle changes of the way he interacts with Akane, the way he changes and warms up around her, which, like, I think my favorite delivery of, like, the whole show is... Cause yeah, like, Yamada's got the whole, like, stoic mask on. He's trying not to, like... He's very quiet and natural. He doesn't let it show too much what he's thinking and feeling, but Akane can still tell. And, like, when she is drunk and he is walking her home, that's when it finally comes out. Hey, do you like me? And just the moment of, like, it clicking, and you can feel, like, the warm smile of him saying, you got me. I'm like, oh! That's so good. That's so good. Like, you really do hear him gradually warm up and, like, grow, and it's very, very sweet. While also him just, like, God, I want more of this. I agree with the people who want more of this because I need to see these two being lovey-dovey. Because even that last scene where he's like, huh, I never noticed you had canines before. They're really cute. And it's like, you see the girl in the coffee shop next to them, like, I'm like,
yeah, that was pretty adorable.
He's smooth. God, you're right, Jed. It is autistic Riz. Son of a bitch. But yeah, I really like Steven's performance. It's good drama. It's good comedy. It's good stoic comedy, but it's also just very good, like, romantic back and forth. And
also good stoic drama.
And good stoic drama. You are correct. You are correct in that he does have, like, very clear insecurities. And insecurities, I truly believe in that, yeah, when I tried to be a little more open, I have hurt people close to me for being close to me. I don't know how to deal with that because of that. It's like, you can tell that vulnerability is genuinely there and sincere. And I like that. And then Akane, like, both Abby and Steven are on, like, incredible, like, generational, like, runs right now, especially. I think, like, the year this came out, I think I gave Abby my underrated performance because, Jen, I think you really nailed it in that you're right in that it just feels cozy, in that she is funny, she is a train wreck, but it is also a level of, like, warm, like, I'm not sure if I'd describe it as, like, hometown girl or, like, the girl next door in, like, this is, like, the friend you like and know and is, like, always sweet to you that you knew or could know in your life. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get Ryujin.
And then, like, that comes across it, like, Abby, in that, like, she is just kind of, like, a normal, like, college girl, and she is playing games, but, like, she's learning about this all on the fly, and she's making friends and connections. She's healing from her heartbreak in a healthy way by actually, like, having a good outlet to get through this, to interact with people, to actually, like, making friends, getting to know people, and becoming closer, like, learn to rely on people. Like, I love, especially, like, when she gets really sick and Yamada is by her side, too. I love that scene because, yeah, when you get really sick, sometimes you can get really fucked up and scared, especially when you're by yourself. So, yeah, I love her and Yamada's interactions with that, taking care of her, and...
For the record, yes, you did.
Yes?
You did give her best underrated. It was Steph who gave her comedy lead.
Right. Thank you. But yes, Abby's performance is so funny. I love it when she's being petty. I love it when she's being a drunken train wreck. I love it when she's being sweet and warm and kind. And as an aside, I love the small, like, how some of the most romantic scenes in this show are, like, very slight, small little things. Like, it's not really, like, about the grand gestures in this one. It's just the little things about being there and listening in their time of need. Like, I love... Another scene I really love is, I don't know how to describe this new cool weapon in the game, so I'm just gonna doodle the sword on your hand... And then also, I'm going to doodle my little character holding the sword. And I'm like, oh, that's so fucking cute. That's really cute. Oh, well, you have, like, the piano motif of the show's opening, which, I love the opening song to the show so much. It's so good. It's so catchy. And yeah, Abby and Steven, incredible performance, incredible romantic pair. You are right, they are the heart and soul of the show, and I love it so much that, God, I hope someday there is more. Otherwise, I will consider picking up the manga to see what happens after this. Mm-hmm. And with that, I think we are done with our dungeon raid. Let's go around the circle, collect some loot. Jet, you get first pick?
Sure. Yeah, this was a really... Yeah, I had a really good time rewatching this show. It's extremely delightful. Like, really... really charming, cozy really charming, cozy romantic comedy, like some really good humor, some really nice romantic vibes. Like I describe it as fluffy. I describe it as fluffy, but not like super over the top in that way. It's just a really cozy show to watch, and like all the characters are pretty charming. All the drama like works pretty well for what the show is going for. It's just a really nice time, and I think the show does a pretty good job of leading into the whole like MMO motif. And as far as the dub goes, yeah, like I said before, pretty solid cast. I think the direction here is pretty solid. Everyone here sounds pretty consistent and generally funny. Again, some of the script work is maybe like a little surprisingly literal in some places, but otherwise I think it's pretty solid, and I had a really good time going back over this.
Alrighty. Megan.
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a really fun time. I thought that the dub excelled in really getting across the warmth of the story, and I think that's what sits with me with this dub, is that it's very warm. And it's just a warm and bright, cheerful kind of show, and kind of in a day and age where we all have rightfully wished for better days. I think that this was a kind of a little comfort show to have, and I'm glad that Andrew finally made me watch it. So,
yeah.
And Greg too. So definitely check this out if you haven't. Thank God it's streaming. I might pick up the Blu-ray for this, assuming it's probably going to cost me an arm and a leg, but whatever. But
this is an Aniplex of America, so it's one of the, I would own it myself, but it's basically, I have to commit to a day. I'm willing to spend at least $120.
Yeah. And in my case, like, I will readily plunk down for Aniplex if I can, but this is also, like, one of those where, like, I would like to buy this, but also I want to wait for the sale. This is not, to me, like, something like Fate Stranger Fake, where I'm buying, like, day one.
I could see if this goes on sale for, like, $100, I would probably definitely pick it up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I just heard the orbital leg bit and just had to try really hard to try to come up with a good equivalent exchange yet, but I got nothing.
Fair enough.
Well, and for them, it cost a mom and a leg.
Ugh. No, you know what? Okay, look, we're saying ugh, but you know what? It's not the same joke. So you get a golf clap from me.
Let's be real. There's one other low-hanging fruit joke FMA fans go for all the time. And I'm not barking up that tree.
Oh, you just had to. You just fought. All right, you go sit in the corner as I finish this. All right. Anyways, okay. I really like this show a lot. I'm also glad I finally got to make people watch this, and I'm glad I could finally do an episode of this as well. I adore this dub. I adore this cast. It's a very comfy rom-com watch. I like it a lot. I love Jalen and the crew that worked on this one. The cast is very charming, very sincere, very funny, and I like this show a lot. I like this dub a lot. I like this show a lot. Season 2, maybe eventually, please, thank you. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just pick up the manga. I really like this. I'm glad I can finally talk about this. Thanks a lot, Greg. Thank you for being a good sport as I talk shit about you this entire episode. I love you, but it's easy to make fun of you.
He just sent the dagger in the psychological experiment chat.
Oh, Christ. Dare I even ask? I'll look at that in a few minutes, but let's wrap this up. If you would like to support the Dub Talk Podcast, you can watch episodes over on our YouTube at Dub Talk Podcast, but you can also listen to our audio-only versions on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. If you would like to support the show and any future episodes like this, you could do so over on give us a one-time donation on our Ko-fi, or if you would like to be a regular supporter and get involved in submitting future episodes to be involved in choosing what we do for a future Dub Talk Patrons Choice episode, you can go over and become a patron on our channel, on our Patreon. Please become a Patreon. That's what I mean. I'm a little tired right now. And if you are a $5 or $10 tier patron, not only will you get a chance to choose a potential episode in the future, you can also get your name read out at the end of each episode, like these beautiful people. Shout out to our $5 tiers, JR Pictures, Quinoa Soup, Megan's Mom and Dad, and Michelle Travis. And to our $10 tiers, Anthony Brown, Carly Lesticow, James, Julia W., Marissa Lenti, and Pika Greg, the person who made us finally cover this show.
Please put in the comment if you would like to for us to shit talk you when we do your Patreon episode. It would be funny if we allowed that.
You know what? Fair enough. Like most of the people who submit patrons, we are not that close with. Greg is like, okay, we will shit talk Greg every day. But you know what? If you want us to talk shit about you, if you are a $10 patron, we will call you out on the episode of your choice. We would be happy to. All right. My name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on Blue Sky at classystarted.bluesky.social. I'm also on the Bad Place eventually, but Blue Sky is the one I bring home to meet with my fiance's parents. It's not the one I bring to dinner, like the Twitter. So, you can find me over on Blue Sky, and you can also find me on Surreal Resolutions, podcast O&A, anime news podcast, where we talk about the latest in anime news alongside my fellow Dub Talk co-host and buddy here, Jet. Introduce yourself.
Honestly, I'm Jet. You can find me on Blue Sky at Jet0 Infinity, where I'll usually just be talking about anime, games, politics, or I guess whatever's currently going on. Usually a pretty good time there. So you can also find me on Real Resolutions Podcast O&A. Usually talking about anime news alongside Full Dub Talk host Andrew here. And you can also usually find me doing weekly anime reviews on A&N. Currently doing reviews for You and I Are Polar Opposites and Metal Way Season 2, though by the time this goes out, I don't know, maybe I'll still be doing Medalist, but I'll probably be doing the second gym at that point. I don't know.
I look forward to submitting them. Look, Lindsay's gonna have to make you cover some dog shit for a weekly review one of these days. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I've already said that I'm probably not getting what's on Italian. That's like currently a fight bit.
All right, Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Quinera, where I talk about random stuff, repost art, Final Fantasy stuff. And usually my beloved pets, Shinya and Panda.
They are very sweet little beans.
Also, he's not on this episode, but he is always a member of Team Grimgar. You can always follow my boyfriend, Roots of Justice, at Root of Justice at Blue Sky, where he posts a lot of really cool stuff. I don't have a cool fact of the day, other than my cool fact of the day is that Patrick is a cool fact. Patrick is cool, and I love him very much.
Aww.
I'd like to also thank our Discord for being part of a psychological experiment. They had no idea what was going on until this episode goes up.
This wasn't meant to be an episode with this much audience participation. I just got so enamored by the phrase, what is the Sigmund Freud of Syscon? And I just had to pick some brains. And everybody's reaction was, Andrew, what the fuck are you talking about? Like the fucking Breaking Bad, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? Alright, and with that, I think it's time to log off for the night and deal with raiding later on.
God damn it, somebody else in the party rolled on the item I wanted. I have to kill them now.
Yeah, it's only fair. Alright. Okay, how many, terrible usernames have you seen in your day? I gotta ask. Like, I was trying to make up, like, a fake one.
14's actually got a pretty good, filter system, but I can tell you about the worst player I've ever played with.
Oh, boy. All right.
His name was Booty Stank.
Good night, everybody! Otaku on, and don't be a booty stank for your party.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.